Hello and welcome to Texarkana Talk. I'm your host, Lisa Thompson. Today we're really pleased to have Kyle Dooley with us. Kyle is the Texarkana, Texas Public Works Director. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Kyle, I know that your position is fairly new with the city, Director of Public Works, but before that, you had some experience doing other projects. Tell us what you've done for the city.
Well, I've been here nearly 13 years. Started out, worked for TxDOT for about a year and a half before I came here, and I started as the Associate Design Engineer, did a lot of design work for our engineering department, construction plans, projects, that kind of thing, and just have slowly worked my way up. My most recent position before Public Works Director was City Engineer, looking at engineering construction plans, private development, those kind of things, doing the review for that, and have slowly worked my way into the Public Works Director position.
Okay, so what does that position encompass?
Well, it's really managing a lot of different divisions throughout the city. We have the engineering design division, sorry about that. We have the street maintenance division, sign and signal, our stormwater management, and our fleet maintenance and replacement division.
Okay, so all of that doesn't mean a whole lot to the general public, but today we're going to talk about some of the projects that might impact everyone in their everyday lives. I know you have a lot of things going on right now, a lot of projects in the works, things that have been happening for a long time, and one of the most notorious ones is downtown. Can you tell us what's happening downtown?
Yes, that's what we call our Downtown Enhancement Project. It's approximately a $700,000 project. It's the second time we've gotten it's a grant-funded project. It's the second phase of this grant that we've been able to get. It's to reconstruct portions of downtown with new sidewalks, landscaping, other amenities that we can add in there, lighting. And it was an 80-20 grant-funded project. That's 80% federal dollars that flowed through TxDOT to us, and it accounts for a 20% local match on our end. And we are currently working as fast as we can on that, but it hasn't been has just kind of been a little bit slow. But it's over several different blocks downtown, and I think that's some of the reason why it's taking a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. So when you say landscaping, I'm thinking like trees and bushes and flowers.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're looking at especially on Broad Street, we're looking at adding some planter. I wouldn't call them planter boxes, but raised planter beds at the each corner in the two blocks that are affected. Same thing you're talking about there, trees, other small landscaping, shrubs, flowers, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's really going to make a difference in how downtown looks.
Oh, I believe so.
I'm excited about that. So I know one of the most difficult parts of your job is kind of managing, working with business owners, property owners, homeowners in our neighborhoods, and in the projects you're doing. Sometimes the work you have to do gets in the way of their everyday lives.
We're sometimes a nuisance when
You're
we're
right.
working there.
So how do you work with those individuals to make sure everybody gets the best outcome?
Well, we really try to be available in our office as much as we can. We try to get our phone number to our offices out, but there's typically 3 or 4 different ways we try to get the word out. One is we go through the public information office, especially if we're going to have on a construction project. Let's say we're in a neighborhood and we're going to change the traffic control there. We try to get that out through your office to get it to all the media to alert them of the changes. We also have just recently started on our projects giving project updates on the city's website. It's under the Public Works page. We go through and try to update them every 2 weeks to a month and give a projection of what we're going to do for that next 2 weeks or month period, give pictures as we go along so you can kind of follow along with what we're doing. And we also give a heads up of where we're going to be and any changes that may be coming down the pipe. Also, we have an inspector that's on all of our construction projects every day, especially in a neighborhood situation where things can change. Just we're going to take a driveway out today and need to re-pour it. We go door to door and try to talk to the residents as much as we can, and that seems to really be a good way to do small changes on the project. Also, we're always available. There's an outlet, public forum at the council meeting that residents are always welcome to come and talk, and most of the time staff is there at those meetings, and we're glad to meet with them whenever and wherever we can.
Okay. So I know that's not a big deal to everyone, but when you're in my neighborhood, I care how the project's going.
Absolutely, and we understand that completely.
So I know you've got another big project going on that affects a lot of people. It's going to connect Richmond Road to Summerhill. Is that right?
The Morris Lane construction project,
Okay.
yes. That has been an ongoing project for quite some time. It is a grant-funded project, or partially grant-funded through the Economic Development Administration. It's a $1.2 million $1.2 million fund, grant fund, that went towards making that project a reality. It adds another east-west corridor between, if you'll think about it, between the frontage roads at I-30 and Moore's Lane. And that really has become a need because of the one-way frontage roads. They really get us around quickly, but this gives us direct access to medical facilities, doctor's offices, restaurants, and also goes through neighborhoods. So got a lot of access issues that this will open up when we get complete with this project.
Right. And I know recently you were able to open up Robin Lane again because you'd had that closed for
Yes, that
construction.
has been a big feather in our cap. We're glad to get that open. It's been closed for quite some time as we've had to make a completely new intersection there. We're getting closer. It looks like with the contractor that we probably will be getting the road open. We're shooting for the end of January. Now, they'll probably still have a few items to do behind the curb, backfilling with some dirt, reshaping and getting grass growing and that kind of thing. Hopefully to get all of that wrapped up by February. But I think the thing that most people will want to know is when you're going to open the street. And
Right.
we're shooting for the end of January.
Okay, that's good news. So I know that you have a lot to do to coordinate between contractors and homeowners and all that, but you don't just build new streets. Can you tell me what else Public Works is in charge of?
Yes, maintenance. A lot of the things that we do don't necessarily get seen as big and new and fancy. It's not always construction projects like Morris Lane, but a lot of good people really plan and execute our maintenance schedules that we have and keep our community looking good and also functioning the way it should. You can see us out doing street improvements, fixing potholes, replacing bad areas of pavement in concrete. You can see us cleaning ditches, cleaning out drainage facilities, make sure they don't stop up in the event we have a big storm. We do all of the mowing of our right-of-ways, any public properties that we have. Our group also does that. We maintain all the traffic signs, the traffic signals that you see. Our sign and signal group also has the maintenance of all the overhead lighting that you see on I-30 and the loop. Our group also does that. You'll also see us maintaining police, fire equipment, along with our public works equipment and things like that through our fleet maintenance group. We also, in our stormwater group, we do our drainage design, our engineering. They also do demolition. Our engineering designs and administrates all the construction projects that we've been talking about. So that's
Wow.
kind of some of the behind-the-scenes things of what we're doing.
So a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily think about but have to happen for our community.
That's correct.
Okay, one thing you mentioned that caught my attention was demolition. I know
Yeah.
that's a hot topic in our community lately. We have a lot of structures that need attention.
A lot.
So tell me what the city's involvement in buildings that are in disrepair has been.
Okay. I'll try to walk through a little bit of how we've gotten to where we are. Currently, right now, we have over 300 red tag structures. And how we define a red tag structure, that's a structure that's been inspected and found substandard in some way. Now, once a property's been red tagged, it's subject to be brought before our Building and Standards Commission. Building and Standards Commission has been empowered to have the ability to order repairs on that structure, or as a last resort, if the property owner can't, for some reason, get those repairs done, ultimately, as a last resort, they also have the power to order demolition.
Okay.
That's where Public Works comes in. If demolition is ordered, we go out and with in-house forces, we tear the structure down off the property and clean it up. Once we're complete, we have a total expense, and we put a lien on the property to cover our expense to do the demolition. So ultimately, the property owner is responsible for those expenses.
Right. But I know a lot of times you don't recover that money.
That's right. A lot of times, some of these properties are vacant and have been vacant. It's not clearly known where the property owner is, those type of things. So that does make it hard to collect. But should the property sell, that lien goes with the property, and at sale, city would be reimbursed their expense.
So how do we fund that demolition right now?
Council makes a decision every year in the budget to put money towards our demolition efforts. This year, currently, it's $200,000. And right now, like I said, we're doing it in-house. We're working on what we call the council top 40 list. Council had determined previously what 40 structures out of those 300 plus that we have were really the most problematic.
Right.
And we are working down that list as we speak. We got to work on the list starting in August. Our plan is to do 2 houses a month with hopes of ramping up as we get more crews trained in how to do the demolitions, work up to about 4 a month. Since August, we've taken 11 houses down off the top 40 list, and we're working on our schedule as we speak.
Okay. Well, I know one problem that we're still working on a solution for has been commercial properties.
That's correct.
And we don't really have any funding right now
That's
for
right.
demolition of commercial.
And all the demolition we're talking about here is strictly residential.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're still working on a solution there.
Still working there.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time and being here, all that you do for the city.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. That's it for today. I'm Lisa Thompson, your host for Texarkana Talk. Stay involved. After all, it's a great day to be in Texarkana.